She sent her last text message at 40,000 feet. "Mama, the clouds are so beautiful. I can't believe this is real." 3 hours later, the plane disappeared from radar. 28 days after that, fishermen found something in a mangrove swamp that would spark an international crisis and expose a network of disappearances that governments are still too terrified to fully investigate. Welcome to True Crime Mysteries. I'm about to tell you a story that will change how you see luxury, power, and justice forever. And before we go any further, hit that subscribe button right now, because what you are about to hear connects to at least 12 other missing women. And this case is far from over. Her name was Maria Santos, 28 years old, nursing student from Manila. She shared a 3-bedroom apartment with 7 family members. Her father drove a jeepney. Her mother sold food at the local market. They had nothing, but Maria had dreams big enough for all of them. Those dreams led her to Dubai in 2022, working guest relations at the Palazzo Versace, 5-star luxury, the kind of place where people spend more on breakfast than her family made in a week. She watched private jets land every day, celebrities, billionaires, a world she could only observe from the outside, until January 2023 when everything changed. A guest checked in. I'm calling him Khalid, not his real name, but legal reasons, you understand? Khalid A.I. Rashid, 39 years old, real estate billionaire, $800 million net worth. His family owned half of Dubai's skyline, and he noticed Maria. Within a week, he requested her personally every time he visited. Expensive coffee during her breaks. Questions about her family, her dreams, her life. By week 3, he asked for her number. "I'd like to know you beyond these marble walls." Now I know what you're thinking. Red flags everywhere. Wealthy older man. Young woman in service. Power imbalance, screaming from every angle. Her best friend Carmen said exactly that. "Maria, men like that don't see us as people. We're trophies. Please be careful." But Maria wasn't naive. She'd worked hospitality long enough to spot predators. And Khalid seemed different. He video called her parents, sent gifts for her little brother's birthday, offered to pay for her final year of nursing school. No strings attached. For 6 weeks, it was like a fairy tale. Flowers, show tickets, restaurants she'd never dared to enter. Then on March 10, 2023, he asked her something that would seal her fate. "Come with me to the Maldives. 5 days. I'll send my private jet." Before we continue, drop a comment right now telling me where you're watching from. Maria's family believes the more people worldwide who know her story, the harder it becomes to bury. So comment your location. Let's show them how far her voice reaches. Maria wasn't impulsive. She called her mother, called Carmen, even posted in a Facebook travel group asking if it was safe to travel with someone she'd known only weeks. The responses split 50-50. Half said, "Run." Half said, "When will you get another chance like this?" March 15 th 2023. 1:30 p.m. Her mother helped her pack. Her father gave her his old watch. "So you always know it's time to come home." Her little brother made her promise to bring back a snow globe. At 2:47 p.m., Maria posted her last Instagram photo. He gave them a hotel name, Anantara Kahava, $2,000 per night. Dubai police contacted the resort. No record, no reservation, no passport scan. Maria Santos did not exist in their system. March 20th, this became an international incident. The Philippine government hired Aurora Risk Advisory, former Interpol agents and cyber forensics experts who track hidden billings. Lead investigator Sarah Mitchell pulled flight tracking data. Every private flight is tracked by multiple systems. The Gulfstream took off at 3:10 p.m. on March 15 th, but 90 minutes into the flight, it deviated course, descended rapidly, vanished from civilian radar over the Andaman Sea. 45 minutes later, it reappeared near a Southeast Asian coast. The plane landed at a private airstrip on a 40-acre island, owned by a shell corporation. That company owned by another shell company in the Caymans. That company owned by Khalid's extended family. If you believe victims deserve justice, no matter how powerful the accused, smash that like button right now. Not for me, for Maria. Because every like puts pressure on the people trying to bury this. Do it now. March 28th, an anonymous call to local police. Someone reported something suspicious in a mangrove area. The caller's voice was described as absolutely terrified. April 12th, 2023. 28 days after Maria boarded that jet, two fishermen checking nets in a dense mangrove found something in the water that would haunt them forever. I need to be truthful because Maria's family asked me to share this. The world needs to understand what happened. Partial remains. Approximately 60% of the body recovered. April 15th, dental records confirmed identity. Maria Santos. But the autopsy revealed something that changed everything. Time of death, March 20th to 22nd. 5 to 7 days after she boarded that plane. She didn't die during the flight. She didn't die on arrival. She was alive for almost a week. Defensive wounds covered her hands and arms, ligature marks on wrists and ankles, broken fingernails with material underneath. She fought hard. Toxicology showed sedatives, not lethal, but enough to incapacitate. The location was 40 kilometers from the airstrip, accessible only by boat. Whoever brought her there knew the area intimately. And then forensic teams found something else in that mud. A broken bracelet, not Maria's. A waterlogged phone, also not hers. A single shoe. DNA analysis on the bracelet matched a woman missing since 2021. Indonesian national. Last seen boarding a yacht in Phuket with a wealthy businessman. The phone belonged to a Vietnamese woman. Missing since 2022. Last known location before vanishing? Dubai. Maria wasn't the first. She wasn't even the second. Comment right now. How many women do you think have disappeared into circles of extreme wealth and power that we don't even know about? Your engagement makes it harder to sweep these cases away. So comment. Tell me what you're thinking. April 20th. Interpol issued a red notice. The Philippines requested extradition. And a woman in Jakarta saw Maria's story on the news. She decided to break 2 years of terrified silence. I'm calling her Aisha. She spoke on condition of total anonymity. I still don't feel safe. In 2021, Aisha worked at a luxury resort in Bali. A wealthy Gulf businessman befriended her. Gifts, promises. He invited her to his private retreat. Sent a helicopter. Same island. Investigators believe Maria was taken to. She arrived and immediately sensed danger. No staff, no guests, just him and security. He offered her wine. 20 minutes later, she couldn't stand. She woke up in a locked room. For 3 days, Aisha was held captive, assaulted, threatened. He knew where her mother lived, her siblings' names, their schools, everything. Third night, during a storm, she broke a window, ran into jungle, swam through rough water, nearly drowning, reaching a fishing village. She never reported it. Terror silenced her for 2 years. Until Maria's face appeared on every screen and Aisha realized her silence would cost more lives. Her testimony gave investigators everything. The island had a main compound and 3 smaller structures. Satellite imagery showed recent construction. Ground radar suggested other locations needing investigation. May 2023, investigators requested permission to search the island. Denied. Insufficient evidence for a warrant on private property. The Philippines escalated through diplomatic channels. Denied again. Sovereignty concerns. June 2023. Leaked documents showed the shell company owning the island invested $45 million in local infrastructure in the 6 months before Maria disappeared. Roads, schools, hospitals, all funded by Khalid's network. The pilot HMMED Hassan initially supported Khalid's story completely, but July 2023, he submitted a sworn affidavit to Interpol. I was told to file a false flight plan. We never went to the Maldives. We landed at that island. I saw Maria get off. She looked scared. Mr. A.I. Rashid paid me $50,000 in cash and said my family in Cairo would be harmed if I spoke. I can't stay silent. A woman is dead. I'm willing to testify. 2 weeks later, Hassan's Cairo apartment was broken into. Laptop smashed. Note left on his table, mind your business. He went into protective custody immediately, August 2023. With Hassan's testimony, investigators finally had enough to charge Khalid A.I. Rashid. But Khalid was in Dubai. Dubai and the country where Maria died have no extradition treaty. Dubai and the Philippines have a limited treaty requiring the accused to consent. Khalid did not consent. His lawyers, our client, is innocent. He cooperated fully. This is tragic, but he will not submit to a flawed legal process. September 2023. The case started crumbling. Key forensic photos, files corrupted, DNA samples, mishandled, inadmissible. Satellite imagery, removed. After legal threats, someone with unlimited resources was systematically destroying evidence. Subscribe to True Crime Mysteries right now because this story isn't over and we don't walk away from cases. We follow them. We update you. We keep fighting. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Be part of demanding justice. February 2026. 3 years later, Khalid AI Rashid lives freely in Dubai, photographed at galas, sporting events, fashion shows. No arrest, no charges, no trial. The island? Still privately owned, still inaccessible, but December 2025, 2 months ago, everything shifted. A human rights organization received leaked documents. Government files showing at least 12 women reported missing over 7 years after visiting private islands in that region. 12 women, different nationalities, all involved with wealthy Gulf men, all vanished under identical circumstances, only 3 bodies ever found. Maria was one. The documents explicitly stated officials were instructed not to pursue investigations that might damage tourism and foreign investment. 12 missing women, 12 destroyed families. Officials told to protect money over lives. Following the leaks, a joint task force formed. Interpol, FBI, Europol, 5 Southeast Asian agencies, investigating private island exploitation networks. It's moving slowly, but it's moving. January 2026. Last month, the UAE announced new regulations for private aviation, biometric verification, real-time passenger manifest uploads to international databases. Not enough, but it's a start. Pressure from Maria's case made it happen. Maria's family started the Maria Santos Foundation, supporting Filipino workers abroad facing abuse. They're lobbying the UN for treaties requiring cooperation on private island investigations. Her father planted a sampaguita tree, the national flower. He tends it daily. When it blooms, Maria is at peace. It hasn't bloomed yet. Maria's last message, "I can't believe this is real." She was right. It wasn't real. It was a nightmare disguised as a dream. If this affected you, do 3 things. Comment what needs to change to prevent this happening again. Share this video so Maria's story reaches everyone. Check the description for trafficking hotlines and victim advocacy resources. This is True Crime Mysteries. We don't just tell stories. We demand justice. We refuse to let victims be forgotten. Subscribe if you believe in that mission. Because there are so many more stories to tell. So many families searching for answers. Thank you for standing with Maria's family. I'll see you in the next investigation.